Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ford Shop Yard. I'm Ryan, and I know I've been gone for a while. I've been busy moving, and but so hey, Cronus, tell everybody hey, buddy. Old Cronus been out here running around the trees and everywhere else. He's gonna help me look at the truck today. But really, there's nothing wrong with this truck. I just want to kind of post a video and tell you about oil stabilizer and how it can fix your vehicle. Now, as you can see, this is a rather pretty much an off-brand type. It ain't like Lucas, but it's still really thick, and it's really good stuff. And basically what you do is, okay, let's say you got a car or truck and it's been using a little bit of oil. It don't use a lot. Maybe it uses a half a quart between oil changes. And or let's just say, maybe it's not burning it, but maybe it's just, maybe your PCV valve is worn out, which is gonna be located, where's it at? Right. Okay, right there. If you see right there where that hose is, right there, my finger's pointing, that's your PCV valve. And you need to change those about maybe every 30,000 miles. And what it does, it keeps, that's just for it keeps from sucking oil into the, well, it's, I can't explain it. It's a, oh God, how can I explain it? It's not supposed to suck oil into your, it's for vapor. What I'm trying to say is for vapor. And what happens is, they get clogged up and they don't work as well, and it ends up your motor ends up sucking oil. And if you got a vehicle that don't use any oil and notice been using it, and you change your oil and filter every 5 or so thousand miles, then that's your problem. Your PCV valve needs to be replaced. And again, I told you it was right there. That one hose right there is what the problem is. There's a valve underneath that hose you pull up out of the valve cover. And if you can, now most of them all should rattle when you shake them. If they don't, that means they're stuck open or stuck shut, whatever the case may be, and needs to be replaced. Like I said, you should change them every probably 15 to 30,000 miles. And but okay, let's say your PCV valve is fine, and you don't change your oil like you're supposed to, and your vehicle's burning some oil. Again, maybe a half a quart. If it burns any at all, as you can see, this bottle, it's heavy-duty oil stabilizer, compatible with gasoline and diesel motors, helps cushion parts and slow oil consumption, and it's formulated to stop thermal breakdown to enhance the oil durability. And this stuff is really thick. It's about as thick as molasses. That's how thick it is, about as thick as molasses. But what you do, let's say you change your oil and filter, put in new oil, and put in, let's say it costs, like my truck here, costs for 6 quarts. You'd probably put in about 5.5 out of the 6 quarts. And then the other half a quart, instead of using regular oil, you'd use this oil, half a quart of this. Or you put in 5 quarts out of the 6 and use 1 quart of this. You put this in there with the oil, drive it, 250 or maybe even longer, however long it takes. But it usually says let me think. It don't say on there, but you drive it about 200 to 500 miles, and what it does, it'll seal your piston rings and your valve seals, stop your oil consumption. I just changed the oil in this truck probably last week. It was probably last week when I changed it. And I put in 6 quarts, cranked it up, drove around a day or two, checked it again, noticed it was about half a quart low. Because I put in the quality oil, and I don't think this is a brand new motor, so it shouldn't use oil. So anyway, I think it's the PCV valve needs replaced. But I put in a half a quart of this. I drove it about 200 miles, and every time I check it now, it's right on the full mark. Let me shut Frankie up here. But it's right on the full mark now, and every time I check it. It fixed the problem. It don't use oil anymore. Let's see if you see it. See, it's right there on the max line. Right there all the way up to the max, and it ain't leaked or burned a bit. See if I can get it back in the hole. There we go. Now it's back in the hole. Alright, but like I said, I put this in about a half a quart right after I changed the oil. Drove it a couple hundred miles, and it fixed the problem. And it sealed whatever space it sealed, and did what it was supposed to do. But I ain't had no more problems out of it. I am going to change the PCV valve when I get a little more money. Short on funds right now. But this is some really good stuff. Now, this works just as good as the Lucas. I mean, it's pretty much the same, design bottle. And you just pour in the oil. Drive it a couple hundred miles. And then let it sit for a while and then check it. Drive it a couple days. And if you notice it ain't low anymore, it fixed the problem. Now for $7, $8, something like that, it's a very good investment. Now this was about $7, but the Lucas brand, it's about $13, I believe. About $13 a bottle. But this is some really good stuff. I swear by it. I put it in Frankie and fixed that. It was doing the same thing. And it fixed his problem. So I swear by it, it's really good stuff. Now again, change your oil and filter every 5,000 miles with full synthetic oil and a quality filter. With all my Fords, I've always ran Motorcraft, always will. I ain't never had a problem. I've used, I've used the Perlator filters before on my other F-150, and they leak. Even, I tighten them, the way you're supposed to tighten them, put them on, tighten them hand tight. And the Purelators I used to use, had always leaked. They didn't leak a lot, but they did leak. And so, I just quit using them. I went back to using Motorcraft. I ain't had a problem since. But yeah, your PCV valve should be replaced about every 15 to 30,000 miles. Anywhere in that time. They get dirty, they get clogged up, they don't operate the way it's supposed to. And that's just normal maintenance. Again, this is a brand new motor. I ain't had a bit of problems out of it. But that's about it for this video. You see Cronus is chilling here under the truck. Say hey, everybody. Say hey. He's a good boy, Crony boy. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. Love them ear rubs, don't you, boy? Love them ear rubs. Gotta get you a new collar. It's about worn, too. Just about. A few more yanks, it'll be done. But, again, guys, this is quality stuff. Spend a little extra money and get good stuff. Don't get the cheap stuff. I've tried the cheap stuff before. The bars, oil, what's it called? The bars, Seal Rejuvenator. It didn't work. It didn't work at all, and so I scrapped that idea. I've been using this for the last year or so. Ain't had a problem. But It all works the same, the real thick stuff. It's the best for it. You know, I tried stuff that's, you know, Seal Rejuvenator, and, you know, it's like basic regular oil, synthetic oil. It's real super thin and liquidy, and it just don't work. But that's the good stuff. But that's it for today, guys. If you enjoy this video, please go to the Ford Shop Yard and hit that like and subscribe button, and never miss another one of these episodes. Thank you, guys. Bye.